40 years ago, Iran realized a dangerous reality. It understood that it could never defeat the United States in a traditional war. So, it began preparing for a completely different kind of warfare. To understand this strategy, we have to go back to the 1980s. At that time, Iran was fighting one of the longest and bloodiest wars in the modern Middle East, the Iran-Iraq War. This horrific conflict lasted for 8 years, from 1980 to 1988, claiming hundreds of thousands of lives and devastating both countries. During this war, Iran learned a painful lesson. Modern warfare had changed. Countries with advanced technology, strong military forces, and powerful allies had a massive advantage. Iran realized that if it ever faced a superpower like the United States, fighting a traditional war with tanks, jets, and large armies would be extremely difficult. So, Iranian military planners started thinking differently. Instead of defeating the enemy in direct confrontation, they developed a strategy designed to make any war extremely costly for their opponent. This is called asymmetric warfare. In simple terms, it means avoiding the strength of a powerful enemy and attacking its weaknesses. A network of missiles and drones. Instead of trying to compete with American aircraft carriers and stealth bombers, Iran focused on cheaper and more flexible weapons. It built a massive arsenal of ballistic missiles and long-range drones capable of striking targets anywhere across the region. The economic bleeding trap. These low-cost drones can overwhelm some of the world's most expensive air defense systems. When Iran sends them in waves, the cost of intercepting them becomes far higher than the cost of the drones themselves. In this way, Iran is mathematically bleeding wealthy Gulf countries. The second pillar of this strategy is Iran's network of allies. Over the past few decades, Iran has built relationships with armed groups in Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. These connections give it influence far beyond its borders. That's why, in the current Iran-Israel tensions, pressure is not felt in just one place, but across multiple fronts simultaneously. Geography also plays a major role in this strategy. Iran is located right next to one of the world's most important routes, the Strait of Hormuz. This is a narrow passage through which nearly 20% of the world's oil passes every day. Iran has recently blocked this route, and the effects of this choke point on energy markets are already starting to appear. At sea, Iran's approach is also asymmetric. Instead of building a navy like that of the United States, it uses small, fast boats equipped with missiles. In the narrow waters of the Persian Gulf, these boats can pose a serious threat to large ships. Finally, Iran's military structure is designed to keep functioning even under intense pressure. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, is organized in such a way that its different units can operate independently when needed. This decentralization means that even if top leadership or key bases are targeted, the network can continue to function. That is exactly what is happening today. Targeting top leaders like Ayatollah Khamenei and others has not had a significant impact on Iran's retaliation. When all these elements come together, a clear strategy emerges. Iran's goal is not to defeat the United States in a traditional military sense. Its real objective is to make any war so complex, so expensive, and so unproductive that continuing it becomes politically and economically impossible for the opponent. In simple terms, Iran's strategy is not to defeat the United States in war, but to make the war so costly that the United States ultimately loses it politically.